I hate him.
Good morning and welcome back to diving deep into Eberron here on Gaming with ADHD, where I have already set Seraphis off on a tear.
If no one's going to see the start, it's okay.
Folks, if you ever want to just see what happens, just get Seraphis to talk Australian politics and just spin him up and let him go. And it's great. It's you'll have a wonderful time. Anyways, I'm Brian, Gaming with ADHD, and I am here as your host, and I am joined today by my good friend Seraphis. I hate the fact that the camera always like on the screen, you're to my right, so I'm going to point to the right. But then, of course, on the camera, it's all to the left. Anyway, I don't get it. It's annoying. Anyways, how you doing, Seraphis?
I'm alive.
Yes.
Thanks for getting me going.
Yes, we are alive. Next time, point down. I mean, down is fair, Game Masters, except for there's no one down there.
Oh, wait, down.
Down, right.
No, wait.
Yeah, no, up down. And down work just down, fine.
Up.
You know, anyway.
No, down. Up. Down. Hey, I'm in Australia. I can get away with that.
That's true. Well, I mean, you can get away with anything when you don't really exist.
And Tasmania apparently doesn't exist even more so.
Exactly. Tasmania is even more fake than regular Australia. Anyways, I had thought of something to chat about while we were waiting for people to come in, and I totally forgot what it was. So I get to look like an idiot right now. Way to pick up the slack on that one, Seraphis. Oh, that's what I remember. No, this is actually important. It's an announcement.
An announcement.
Okay. Wow. I feel really dumb for folks. I've been up for like an hour. Okay. Cut me some slack. Okay. So, normally, folks, we do this live. Okay, obviously we're here live. Everybody's chatting. So, this is live, instant replay.
Told not to do that again.
Yes. Please don't do that again. For the next 2 weeks, I am actually going to be out of town. So what we are going to do, Seraphis and I are going to pre-record the segments. Okay, they will be uploaded to YouTube. And I'm going to set them as premiere. Okay. So if you're not familiar with the premiere option in YouTube, basically it's set to go live at a specific time, but then there's also a live chat. So even though we won't be on screen live, the video will play. We can all watch it at the same time. And Seraphis and I will, be in chat to some degree. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but we'll be there so that we can actually answer questions as well. So that's the theory on how it will work for the next 2 weeks.
I mean, in theory, I could be answering questions. Otherwise, I could just be making a complete show of just how bad of a person I am.
Yes, I mean there's always that option as well, but it is going to be something that we're going to try. But basically, I've been having a lot of fun with this. We've been getting some good traction, and so we really don't want to lose out on that. So we're going to see how well this works as an alternative. So, obviously, we do ask that you please still support us. We'd absolutely love it because we're having a lot of fun doing these. and we hope you're enjoying, watching it along with us as well. And no, Malachi, I am not going to England. I am going to glorious Alabama.
But ding, 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 ding. No way.
That's pretty close. Close enough. So, anyways, anything else fun or exciting we should talk about before we get started on this?
We definitely need to cover the other of Eberron books because they are awesome and I really want to talk about them.
Wait, the other of Eberron?
Magic of Eberron, Races of Eberron, Fates of Eberron, Secrets of Eberron.
Oh, yeah. No, we will do that. It'll take us look, we're obviously not zooming through this book.
In 3025.
Right, exactly. The Fourth Succession War is over. And Brian and Seraphis have just reached Magic of Eberron. Anyhow, no, yes, folks, there are plans to kind of mix up what books get covered, but I've been having a lot of the fun with this, that yes, Seraphis is going to come back and we are going to continue covering the Eberron books. I just want to mix it up so it's not just, it's the Eberron night,
What if I don't want to come back?
Well, then I'm kind of screwed. So. All right, let's do. Actually, hold on. I need to do this. And then we can do this. All right. So today, folks, we are talking about prestige classes. Now, Seraphis, why don't you tell everyone what prestige classes in D&D 3.5 are, just in case they don't know?
So, in 3.5, prestige classes are a way to flavor a core class in different and unique ways. Prestige classes, however, had prerequisites, things you needed to have in order to be able to start the journey into that prestige class. More often than not, prestige classes also had backgrounds about how to start in them and things like that. That, however, is more flavor and depends on what kind of game you're playing, depended on how much the DM actually used that kind of stuff. But
yeah. So more of a kind of just like a role play specialization. You're not just a fighter. You're a, what's a trencher, something. I'm trying to make something.
I would say, like, for example, sticking with the Eberron theme, you're not just an artificer, you're an artificer renegade master maker, where you're now replacing parts of your body with Warforged components, and the end goal is basically to turn into a Warforged.
That got dark.
Or, if you want to be a little bit more lighthearted, there's the Mystic Thurge from the DMG, where you can utilize, I'm pretty sure that's the one, you can utilize arcane and divine spellcasting classes.
Right.
Casting now. So, if you're in one, you can now start taking points in the other one and vice versa. So,
Yeah, basically it's a way to give you something with a little bit more flavor. And so for this, obviously these are very Eberron specific. You're going to see a lot of stuff as far as dragon marks or investigation, things like that.
And unlike in 5th edition, if that's what you're used to, prestige classes are generally not locked to a core class. which adds
Right.
even more interesting flavor to them as well.
Yeah, usually and you'll see as we get into it, usually it's stuff like you have to have this many ranks in a skill, or you have to have this particular feat. So yeah, you could be a ranger who's got a little bit of stuff, and bam, suddenly he's got this arcane prestige class that he can take, because he was able to meet the requirements. So
yeah,
there's
because like he, the character added levels to their arcane knowledge skill, and that was the requirement that they needed, basically.
Right. Yeah. So I think they're fun. Like, to me, prestige classes always just kind of come off as, hey, here's something that, it's a little bit different. And especially when it gives stuff like, you have to do this, or you have to go find these people, or, you must be inducted into this ancient order. I think it's kind of cool because then it also gives some of those extra role play opportunities. So, obviously you got to work with your dungeon master, but I still think prestige classes were a cool mechanic, even if I never got to use one.
Yeah,
but that's that.
And I mean, as I said, frequently prestige classes come with background and traditions that they're associated with, like organizations and things like that. So the DM has access to this like mini design, basically, that is like, hey, if you want to incorporate shadow forges into your game, here's this organization called the blacksmiths or whatever, the shadow smiths or whatever.
I actually like that one.
Who specialize in drawing the darkness from the shadow plane and crafting items with it. That could be that organization's thing. So there's
right. So cool. Anyhow, all right, should we get going? Everyone's probably like, man, why are they still talking? We don't care what they have to say. Let's get
Yep.
All right. Do you want to lead it off today, or should I?
I can lead it off if you want.
Okay.
So, the prestige classes in this chapter are designed for characters in an Eberron campaign. They make particular use of action points, highlight the abilities of Eberron's unique races, or allow characters to further develop their dragon marks. In addition to these prestige classes, characters in an Eberron campaign can adopt any of the prestige classes in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and, with the DM's permission, prestige classes from other sources as well. This chapter is not a comprehensive guide to prestige classes in Eberron, but a selection of the unique prestige classes available to Eberron characters. As more of the world is revealed, more prestige classes will undoubtedly emerge. With a few adjustments, particularly in the background and flavor text, and with the permission of your DM, the Eberron prestige classes can be adopted for use in any D&D campaign. The prestige classes described in this chapter are summarized below. Did you want me to go through those?
Yeah, just do that real quick.
Yep. Dragonmark Heir harnesses the power of the Dragonmark efficiently and effectively. Eldeen Ranger, dedicated to protecting some aspect of the Eldeen Reaches. Exorcist of the Silver Flame, fights the forces of supernatural evil. Extreme Explorer, delves into ancient ruins in search of secrets and adventure. Heir of Sybaris, manifests a uniquely powerful Dragonmark. Master Inquisitive, investigates crimes and solves mysteries, uncovers secrets, and reveals facts. Warforged Juggernaut, a class for any Warforged dedicated to becoming a combat powerhouse. And Weretouch Master, explores the powers of a shifter heritage to adopt animal forms.
Yeah. I was about to say So they've got the Warforged, the Weretouch Master. I just realized they don't really have one for the Kalashtar or the Changeling. I mean, obviously they can come with some later, but I still think that's interesting.
For the most part, the Kalashtar continually referred to the expanded psionics handbook.
Again, still disappointing that they didn't do something for them.
Well, not in this one, but in
I know. I know they would have gotten something eventually. My point is, they're like, oh, this is going to help do something for the new races, and then they touch 2 of them.
To be fair, Korai Mind Hunter. That is the coolest sounding name, and it's a pretty badass prestige class that's in one of the other books that's specifically designed for Kalashtar. So, not getting a mention here, they get a cool mention later.
Again, that's fine. I know, they even said, hey, we'll come out with more stuff later. I'm just saying they didn't do anything in the first book. Little sad. Anyhow, all right, let's get moving. Dragonmark Heir. The Dragonmarked houses are a significant force in the politics and economics of Khorvaire. Though their political influence is usually behind the scenes and often quite subtle, perhaps as many as 1 person in 100 has a blood connection to one of the 12 houses. Of these thousands, however, no more than half actually manifest Dragonmark. Even more rare are the individuals who demonstrate a natural ability to improve and use their Dragonmark powers in ways that go well beyond others in their houses. These exceptional individuals are Dragonmark heirs. Dragonmark heirs have the ability to improve the Dragonmarks they have manifested, as well as to develop additional abilities related to their Dragonmarks. Dragonmark heir NPCs fill a wide variety of roles within the Dragonmarked houses. To some extent, they command a degree of respect from unmarked members of the house, but a more powerful mark does not necessarily equate to a position of leadership. The economic realities of Khorvaire demand leadership from those with a keen mind for business, which does not necessarily go hand in hand with a more powerful Dragonmark. And we've got a Dragonmark heir. All right. So, requirements. To be qualified to become a Dragonmark heir, a character must fulfill all of the following criteria. Race, member of appropriate Dragonmarked race and house. So, if you want to be a Dragonmark heir for House Cannith, you got to be a human. So, that's literally your only choice. Can't just be like, oh, I'm an orc, so I'm going to do this one. No, you'd have to go with the House Thrashed, I think, is the half-orc one.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways. So, member of appropriate Dragonmark race and house. 7 ranks in any 2 skills, and the feats favored in house and least Dragonmark. Yeah. They're not going to give you a whole lot of credit if you don't have a Dragonmark already. So, all right. Obviously, you get class skills and skill points. Here is the leveling chart. Notice we're skipping all of that. All right. So the class features. All of the following are class features of the Dragonmark heir. Weapon and armor proficiency. They gain no proficiency with any weapons, armor, or shields. Let's be honest. It's not really a combat class.
No, I mean, it depends.
Well, okay, true. I'm just saying it applies regardless of what your class is, because you could be a wizard, you could be a fighter, and you can still be a Dragonmark heir. That's why the requirements are just your skills as opposed to, like combat ability, which will come.
Well, your race as well, because,
True.
Of course, that wouldn't be a thing in modern D&D nowadays, so. Because we can't let people be divided or anything. Everyone's got to be equal.
Why you gotta bring that nonsense in here, Seraphis? It's not how we roll around here. Yeah, they're races. I mean, you can call them species if you want, but I'm sticking with races.
You still have to be a member of the species, though. You can't just be a
That's
human
true.
who's part of House Thrask.
No, I think you can be a human and part of House Thrash.
Well, you can't have the dragon mark, though.
No, I think you can.
No, you can't. Unless the original dragon gives it to you.
No. Sorry, folks. Mark of finding? Yes. House Thrashk is a family of half-orcs and humans. So you can be human and half-orc and have the mark of finding. Take that. All right. Anyways, all right. So, as the character levels up, he is going to gain a lesser dragon mark. A dragon mark heir manifests the lesser dragon mark of their house. She receives the lesser dragon mark feat as a bonus feat without having to meet the skill rank prerequisite. Continuing to move on, they're going to gain house status using her level in this class as a bonus on all charisma related checks when dealing with members of her own house. The Dragon Mark heir will gain additional action points. At second level and beyond, a Dragon Mark heir's maximum action points per level is increased by 2. That's not bad. That's quite a boost, especially when you add it with the feat that gives you additional action points. You could be running around with a giant bucket of action points.
Yes, but there's a different prestige class that actually requires those action surge feats, and it's your favorite one.
Which one? I forget. Oh yeah. Well, we'll get into that one in a little bit.
We will.
All right. Okay, so then you're going to get the improved least dragon mark. Beginning at second level, a dragon mark heir gains improved mastery of her least dragon mark. She can select a second spell-like ability associated with the least dragon mark for her house, or she can use the least dragon mark spell-like ability she already possesses 1 additional time per day. I forget, is the improved option available as just a regular feat, or can you only get it by getting the Dragon Mark heir?
No, these aren't available as regular feats. These are part of the class.
Okay,
so yeah. Features, not feats specifically.
Right, so you can only get the improved marks by being a Dragon Mark heir. There we go.
Yep.
All right. Then eventually she'll get the improved lesser dragon mark. Starting at third level, a dragon mark heir gains improved mastery of her lesser dragon mark. She can select a second spell-like ability associated with the lesser dragon mark for her house, or she can use the lesser dragon mark spell-like ability she already possesses 1 additional time per day. See, this is where I think like a dragon marked character really gets to shine, is if they get those abilities to that went way out of place. The fact that you get either a second ability or being able to use your ability more often. That's when I think the dragon mark really starts coming into its own. All right, at fourth level, a dragon mark heir manifests the greater dragon mark. She receives the greater dragon mark feat as a bonus feat without having to meet the skill rank prerequisite. And then finally, at fifth level, the improved greater dragon mark, gets a second spell-like ability, or gets to use one she already has a second time. So I'll be honest, I like the dragon mark heir. 5 levels, so it's not It's not too crazy. But then the fact that you're getting, you're powering up all of the dragon marks, depending on the mark that you've got, that's going to make this character just a wrecking ball, in my opinion. Would you like to say anything?
No, I was just contemplating because you've got all the additional feats in the various Eberron books as well, where you can use your Dragon Mark more often, or you've got the magic items specifically attuned and designed for Dragon Mark characters, so that you can essentially just have a quiver of Alona on your side at all times and just constantly be pulling out different rods to enhance your Dragon Mark each time.
Okay.
And stack on the feats of more uses per day of this Dragon Mark and that Dragon Mark. Switch out for a rod that gives you another use of your Dragon Mark. Boom. You can really powerhouse.
Yeah, but then you got to have the cash in order. Or are you just talking about doing that and doing the Dragon Mark Air?
Yeah, doing that and the Dragon Mark Air.
Okay. Yeah, I think that air makes you, just like I said, kind of a wrecking ball just on its own. But then, you're right, when you start adding all that extra stuff into it, especially if it's the Mark of Sentinel, essentially the combat one, it suddenly it's, hey, look, I've got all these extra feats, these extra combat abilities.
Yeah, but it's not just that one. The Mark of Healing.
Oh, that's true.
It's not just healing. If you're going up against a bunch of undead, you're not a healer. You're a destroyer of undead now. Because healing is positive energy. They are made up of negative energy. Cancel each other out.
That's fair. Yeah, there's going to be some fun stuff with this. Yep. All right.
I mean, even on its own, being able to cast massive amounts of healing spells to keep your allies going through the game, through a campaign, that on its own is awesome. So, yes, Eldeen Ranger. Okay. When humans first came to the Eldeen Reaches, the Orc natives shared their druidic traditions with the newcomers. Over the centuries, these teachings were twisted and reinterpreted rather. And today, 5 major sects exist in the Eldeen Reaches. These groups dominate the Great Forest. Some seek to protect travelers and settlers from the dangers of the wild, while others see it as their duty to drive civilization back from the Reaches and ultimately from Corvair itself. After a ranger has learned the basic ways of wood and wild, he can travel to the Eldeen Reaches and seek admission. Yeah, I skipped too far ahead. Admission to one of the sects. A sect usually requires an applicant to pass one or more tests to prove his skill and devotion to the ideals of the sect. Once he has been accepted into the sect, an Eldeen Ranger learns special techniques and abilities that help him to fulfill the goals of his sect. While some levels in the Ranger class are required to enter into this prestige class, the best Eldeen Rangers also have one or more levels in Druid in their background. This experience as a Druid allows them to take advantage of the feats associated with their sex. The Druid sects. Each druid in Eberron belongs to one of the druid sects described below. And by the way, if you're laughing because I keep saying because of the way I'm pronouncing it, aren't you?
Yes.
I had a feeling. And you can go.
Look, okay, and this is straight up on the writers. This is straight up the fault of the writers, not you. If it was once or
the
twice,
accent doesn't help.
No, the accent doesn't help. But if it was just once or twice, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But oh my gosh, how many times can they use the word druid sects? Yes, I emphasized it that way so that I don't. Anyways, like. This was a family show.
Replace it with cult? I can say cult a lot more easily.
No, I just think it's funny, like how many times they have used that word, like in a row, and it's like, come on, people, what are you? Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm a 12-year-old, whatever.
No, look. As soon as I saw it come up a second time in the same sentence, I was like, my pronunciation is going to make it sound like I'm saying something else.
Right. No, again,
power through it.
Not even blaming you. Completely blaming the author.
Okay. Let's try to get through this. Oh, look. Immediately. Ashbound. This fanatical sect takes the traditional beliefs of the Druids to dangerous extremes. Its members seek to protect the wilds and preserve the natural order, using a very broad definition of unnatural to determine their actions. They consider arcane and divine magic to be unnatural, for example, and go out of their way to strike at farms and ranches that attempt to confine or cultivate nature. The Ashbound prefer to avoid killing. Their goal is to encourage their targets to abandon their unnatural ways and embrace the harmony of nature. So, they're a fun lot.
I was going to say, not bad, but okay, they're like, I don't sometimes like I get what they're doing with these classes, but like for example, I was playing Diablo 4 and there was this little side quest. Hey, my bear got hurt. I need you to go find this thing. And so then this character's following you along as you're slaughtering bears to go find the thing to heal her bear. And I just wonder, because they're like, here, you can take this choice. Or it's like, they prefer to avoid killing. Okay, so I'm going to avoid killing the goblins that are taking over the area and try to make them just be happy little goblin farmers now? I don't. Sometimes
No. They can't be farmers because that's unnatural.
Right. That's true. Sometimes there are things that shouldn't be given as player choices. Just gonna throw that out there.
Hey, let's be fair. Ashbound are basically those annoying vegan people. Children of Winter, however, is basically straight up Peter.
Peter?
The animal people?
Oh, Peter, not Peter.
No, yeah. Again, dude, the accent.
Look, when you're imaginary, you can talk however you want. Anyways, well, let's learn about
one more this time.
I get one. I think I got at least 3 in me. All right. Tell us about the Children of Winter.
The Children of Winter. Death. Being a part of the natural order draws some to its dark source of power. The Children of Winter seek to cleanse the land through a blight, disease, and cold, believing that the strong will survive to populate the great spring that lies beyond their dark winter. The end of the current age is coming, as evidenced by the creation of the Mournland, and the Children of Winter see themselves as agents of nature, cleansing Corvair so that it can bloom anew. I'm sorry, I got my druidic sex mixed up. These aren't the Peter Lot. These are the Heaven's Gate people.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That reference. Anyone younger than us probably doesn't get that reference.
Right. I mean, so far, like, okay, because I think they give us 5 so far. Like 2 out of 5, I just like as a game master, I'd be like, no, you're not. No, just no. Not gonna happen.
There's nothing redeemable about you. Go away.
Right. Yeah. The first one, you're a weird Greenpeace hippie. The second one, you're like an undead hippie. Let's just not bring those in as player characters.
I mean, don't you want to have, a player in your group whose like whole thing is about being like a druid or ranger who is just like, come, we must all die now. Come to us. Die. Die with me. Die with all of us.
The answer is no. No, I don't. Just at all.
Okay, let's get a little bit more friendly now.
All
the
right.
Gatekeepers. Ironically, I love the Gatekeepers. They're kind of funny. Especially in the modern age. The Gatekeepers protect nature from unnatural threats, specifically aberrations, fiends, and other ancient evils. See Chapter 8 Organizations for additional information about this druidic sect.
See, this totally appropriate for a campaign. Like, depending on how the campaign's going to go, but completely valid for a player character.
Yeah. And like the best part is that the Gatekeepers were originally created by a dragon who knew about the prophecy of an invasion from the Outer Planes and basically prepared people, and they stayed prepared for 3,000 years.
Sure. I have no problems with this one.
Yeah. Green Singers! Woo! Green Singers, this small druid sect, maintains a strong bond with the Fae of the Eldeen Reaches. As wild and chaotic as the forest spirits they revere, the Green Singers embrace revelry as they dance through the magical world of the forest and the Fae. And they're just fun.
Again, totally appropriate for a player character. That's, again, no problems with that.
And if you combine the Green Singers with the Green Singers Initiate, feat, and a feat that's in one of the other books, oh my god, you can create such a fun Fae twisted druid. Not like when I say Fae twisted, I don't mean like in an evil way, like in a look, enchantments. All my enchantments work all the time because I'm a Fae kind of thing. Like for Green Singers with these couple of feats, their enchantments work as well as a divine caster summoning the power of their god through them, basically. It's just amazing. I love their enchantments. They just rock. Anyway, Wardens of the Wood. The largest and most influential of the Eldeen sects, the Warden of the Woods guard the plains and forests. They are most closely connected to the Great Druid Oalian? Aurelium.
Aluminium.
Huh? Hey, Leon. Sorry. Oh, Leon. Yeah.
Again, this is just another, to me, that one's just another generic, I'll call him an Uber Ranger,
Pretty much.
Like I'll call him the Boy Scout. You know, he cares about nature, but he's willing to cut down a tree.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, because he cuts down only what he needs.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we've got the gatekeepers who want to keep the bad things out. I can relate. We've got the green singers who just want to dance and have fun. And we've got the wardens who just want to use what they need.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, folks, there's 3 options if you want to play an Eldeen Ranger. At least in our game.
So that means I'm going to be setting you up as either an Ashbound or a Child of Winter then, huh?
Nope.
Yeah. You come off more as a Child of Winter, don't you?
I mean, somebody might say that.
Okay, requirements. To qualify to become an Eldeen Ranger, a character must fulfill all of the following criteria. Oh, that's different. All of it. Alignment. Requirement varies by sect. Ashbound, no restriction. Child of Winter, any non-good. Gatekeepers, any non-evil. Greensingers, any chaotic. And Wardens of the Wood, any non-evil. Base attack bonus +5. Skills, knowledge, nature 6 ranks, and survival 8 ranks. Feat, track, and special favored enemy class feature. So generally a ranger. Also, before taking his first level in this class, a character must train in the Eldeen Reaches with other members of the sect that he wishes to join.
Now, I thought they. Now, maybe I missed something, but I thought they basically said that you needed, or that it would be useful to have some sort of like druid abilities first.
Yeah, that's because all of these are druid sects. So in order to be able to join them, you probably want to have like 1 or 2 ranks in a druid in the druid class, so that you can be accepted into their different cults.
Okay, so that's essentially it's more of a role play thing, because I'm like, all of the requirements are just straight up stuff that would be required of or that would come from the ranger side, not from a druid side. So I was a bit confused.
Pretty much. Although depending, like a couple of levels in ranger, and then the rest of your levels in druid would actually be better for like a gatekeeper or a greensinger, whereas a Warden of the Woods would be more the other way around. You know, you just need 1 or 2 levels in a ranger, in a druid, and the rest you can have in ranger.
Sure. Yeah. No. Again, I thought it made it sound like you were going to need a lot more druid to get into this than it turns out that you do.
Oh no! Again, as I said, like your average level, like adventure in Eberron is like level 7. So, and a high level adventure is level 12. So they kind of scaled that standard kind of low to make sure that it's scaled properly, basically.
All right, fair enough.
So we've got the class skills and Eldeen Ranger table, yada yada. All right, class features. All of the following are class features of the Eldeen Ranger. Weapon and armor proficiency. Eldeen Rangers are proficient with all simple and martial weapons and with light armor and shields, except tower shields. They're doing it again. They're doing it again. I'm going to have to say it twice in the same sentence. Sect ability 1. Each of the 5 major sects within the Eldeen reaches embraces a different aspect of nature. At first level, an Eldeen Ranger must select a cult. This choice provides him with a defensive ability unique to his cult. I'm saying I'm replacing with cult. Screw this. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I regret nothing.
Of course you don't. Ah. You've got the power of Mormonism on your side. I've got nothing. Ashbound. Resist the arcane. An Ashbound Eldeen Ranger gains a +2 bonus on saving throws to resist arcane spells. This bonus does not apply to saves against spell-like or supernatural abilities. Children of Winter. Resist poison. A Child of Winter Ranger, Eldeen Ranger, gains a +2 bonus on saving throws against poison. Gatekeepers. Resist corruption. A Gatekeeper Eldeen Ranger gains a +2 bonus on saving throws to resist the spell-like, supernatural, and psionic abilities of aberrations. Green Singers. Resist nature's lure. A Green Singer Eldeen Ranger gains a +4 bonus on saving throws against spell-like abilities of Fae. Wardens of the Wood. Nature's Sense. A Warden of the Wood Eldeen Ranger gains a +2 bonus on knowledge, nature, and survival checks. Hated Foe. Extraordinary ability. At 2nd level and higher, when he attacks a creature that is his favorite enemy, an Eldeen Ranger can spend 1 action point to make a mighty attack against that creature. This expenditure allows the Eldeen Ranger to make his special attack. Do not add the action point die roll to the attack roll. If the mighty attack hits, it deals double damage. And now we have Sect Ability 2. Should have said Cult. At 3rd level, an Eldeen Ranger gains a new ability related to his cult. Yay. Ashbound Ferocity, extraordinary ability. An Ashbound Eldeen Ranger continues to fight without penalty, even while disabled or dying. Children of Winter. Resist corruption. A Child of Winter Eldeen Ranger gains immunity to disease and also gains a +2 bonus on saving throws against mind-affecting spells and abilities, charms, compulsions, phantasms, patterns, and morale effects. Gatekeepers, Dark Vision. A Gatekeeper Eldeen Ranger gains Dark Vision out to 60 feet. If he already has Dark Vision, the radius of the effect increases by 30 feet.
That's a lot of Dark Vision.
Oh, yeah. Green Singers, Unearthly Grace. A Green Singer Eldeen Ranger adds his charisma bonus, if any, as a modifier to his saving throws. Which, man, your saving throws, man. Wardens of the Wood, Improved Critical. A Warden of the Wood Eldeen Ranger gains the Improved Critical feat for a thrown or ranged weapon of his choice.
Okay.
Yep. Favored Enemy, Extraordinary. At 4th level, an Eldeen Ranger gains a Favored Enemy. This ability works just like the Ranger's Favored Enemy ability, and it allows the Eldeen Ranger to increase the bonus against one of his favored enemies, as if he had just gained another favored enemy from his Ranger class. Sect Ability 3.
Real quick. Real quick, I actually want to point that out because I was thinking about that. I'm like, this seems really dumb because it just says, oh, it's like if he'd just gotten his Ranger's favorite enemy. And then I realized, wait a second, what if you're coming in to the class like with more levels in Druid as opposed to Ranger? Like you did Ranger and got the first favorite enemy, but didn't keep going. So yeah, so that's why you're getting this, because you're probably losing out on it by not taking normal Ranger levels. Anyways, there.
Sect Ability 3. At 5th level, an Eldeen Ranger gains a final ability related to his cult. Ashbound, Spell Resistance. An Ashbound Eldeen Ranger gains Spell Resistance 20. Children of Winter, Touch of Contagion. A Child of Winter Eldeen Ranger gains the ability to spread disease as the Contagion spell 3 times per day. Gatekeepers, Slippery Mind. A Gatekeeper's Eldeen Ranger gains the ability to wriggle free from magical effects that would otherwise compel him. If the character is affected by an enchantment spell or effect and fails his saving throw, he can attempt it again 1 round later at the same DC. He gets only this one extra chance to succeed on his saving throw. Green Singers, damage reduction. A Green Singer Elden Ranger gains damage reduction 3 to Cold Iron. Warden of the Wood, Smite Evil. Once per day,
Real quick, I thought the thing after the slash was the weakness.
Yes. So Cold Iron would be if someone was using a Cold Iron weapon against the Elden Ranger Green Singer, the damage reduction wouldn't count.
Right. Yeah, because it's the way that you said it, damage reduction 3 versus Cold Iron. The way you said that made it sound like, it reduces damage from Cold Iron, but I'm like, wait, no, this is Fey. Cold Iron. No. In my opinion, Cold Iron would be double damaging it, but that's a separate issue.
No. Because the way the system, the D20 system works in 3.5, the fact that actually no, because most Fey templates have it in there that they have a weakness to Cold Iron, so they will be taking 1.5 times more damage.
Right. I just wanted to clarify it because the way that you said it, made it sound like it would reduce Cold Iron damage, which for a Green Singer is absolutely not the case.
Well, yeah, no, that's all right. And Wardens of the Wood, Smite Evil. Once per day, a Warden of the Wood Elden Ranger can attempt to smite evil with 1 normal melee attack. He adds his charisma bonus, if any, to his attack roll and deals 1 extra point of damage per Elden Ranger level. If the character accidentally smites a creature that is not evil, the smite has no effect, but the ability is still used up for the day. And we've got our sample character here.
Okay. Yeah, I like all those, except for the fact that they put. I mean, I can see them putting the evil stuff in there, like, so if you want to make like NPCs and such. But man, that was just like that's no. I don't want my players to even consider that as an option.
Did you want to bring up your wrongs comment?
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so your wrong asks, side quest question. Do people still run with pre-gen sheets? And if so, how many should I prep for an open table? Seraphis? Okay, my simple answer is yes. Pre-gens are totally fine. And you need as many as you're going to have at the table.
Pretty much. I wouldn't expect you to have a TPK that would this shouldn't be on par with, say, a Call of Cthulhu kind of game where you should probably make 3 extra rounds of character sheets, But I don't know, however many players will be at your table plus 2 if you're a cautious person.
Yeah. And especially if you're doing it as a one shot, like on one shots, normally I am of the opinion that a player should die. On a one shot, I'm usually I would be more inclined to say, pull some punches, let the person stick around and have some fun. Because you don't want to necessarily knock them out of the game. Now, if you want to go hardcore, I would absolutely say, maybe have a couple extra character sheets, but yeah, just having enough for the game that you want to run is really all you need. So, I mean, anything more complicated we should say, Seraphis?
No, but I mean, they don't really have a lot of good pre-gen done character sheets officially for 3.5, but in terms of utilizing the NPC tables, absolutely just find, the DMG or whatever, Player's Handbook 2.
Worst case scenario, like if you're going to use Eberron, like specifically 3.5, like we've been talking about, the classes section has a sample character for every single basic class, and they're all tuned a little bit for Eberron. So just copy those, put those on a character sheet, boom, you're done. That's how I'd approach it.
Yeah, that works too.
So, all right, let's talk about the Exorcist of the Silver Flame. The Church of the Silver Flame is dedicated to fighting supernatural forces of evil across Corvair. Trying to remain above the lingering conflicts of the last war, the Church focuses its energy on combating extraplanar threats such as possessing devils and corrupting demons. Leading this unceasing war are the Exorcists of the Silver Flame, spiritual heroes who channel the power of the Silver Flame to ward off evil outsiders, cast out possessing spirits, and smite the material forms of the forces of evil.
Where in that does it point out lycanthropes? Oh, it doesn't, does it? Hypocrites.
The forces of evil? Right here?
That's only if they're actually evil.
I mean, you're a werewolf. How are you not evil?
Did we not just get through a whole section about how a third of the druid cults were evil?
40%, but no, the exorcists aren't evil. They fight evil like werewolves.
And so why do shifters need to be killed then?
Because they're werewolves or weregoats or were-tigers or whatever. Look, I'm always going to take the side of the Exorcist or the Silver Flame because for some reason you have like an extreme level of hate for them and their war against the werewolves. And I think that's funny.
Because it's unfounded. They just decided one day that they needed to exterminate werewolves when their whole thing is meant to be doing all this because they're using the power of, 1,000,000 dead Coatl.
Again, the material form, they smite the material forms of the forces of evil. What part don't you understand?
They used to have werewolves and lycanthropes in their ranks until they decided they didn't want them anymore.
Well, maybe they were blinded to the fact that the werewolves were evil. The werewolves cast mass illusion or something. I don't know. I'm going to need a new co-host, folks, because I think Seraph is about to quit. All right. Exorcists of the Silver Flame are drawn from the ranks of the most experienced and dedicated champions of the church. Primarily clerics and paladins, multi-class clerics, wizards, and accomplished mystic theurges of the church are also drawn to the class, though most of these retain their emphasis on divine spells and powers. Most exorcists of the Silver Flame are active in the world, out on the front lines of the war against evil. A few NPC exorcists might be found in a state of retirement, so physically and emotionally scarred from their experiences that their minds border on insanity.
So basically, think of the old priests in The Exorcist.
Yes. In case you watch this later, Max. All right. Requirements. To become an exorcist of the Silver Flame, a character must fulfill all the following criteria. Alignment, any good. Base attack bonus, +3.
Debatable.
Skills, knowledge of the planes, 3 ranks. Knowledge religion, 8 ranks. Spells, able to cast first level divine spells. And special worshiper of the Silver Flame. You obviously get some class skills. Skill points per. I think this is kind of interesting. Two skill points per level for essentially a. Well, I can't decide if this is a fighter class or a wizard class.
Paladin.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
To less skill points.
Yeah.
All right, class features. All of the following are class features of the Exorcist of the Silver Flame. Exorcist of the Silver Flame gain no proficiency with any weapons, armor, or shields. At second level and at the higher levels indicated on the table, when a new Exorcist of the Silver Flame level is gained, the character gains new spells per day, as if she had also gained a cleric or paladin level. She does not, however, gain any other benefit a character of that class would have gained. Improved ability to turn undead and so on. This essentially means that she adds these Exorcist of the Silver Flame levels to her levels in cleric or paladin, then determines spells per day and caster level accordingly. If a character had levels in both cleric and paladin before she became an Exorcist of the Silver Flame, she must decide to which class she adds each level of Exorcist for the purpose of determining spells per day. All right. Flame of Censure. An Exorcist of the Silver Flame can manifest the mystical power of the Silver Flame to ward off outsiders with the evil subtype. The Exorcist makes a charisma check and consults table 8-9, turning undead, page 159 of the player's handbook, using her character level to determine the most powerful outsiders she can affect. She then rolls 2d6 plus her level in this class, plus her charisma modifier for turning damage. Using both her character level and class level in this manner means that she is more likely to affect a single powerful outsider, but unlikely to censure more than one of them. Give me 1 second. All right. A censured outsider stunned for 1 round by the power of the Silver Flame is stunned for 1 round by the power of the Silver Flame channeled through the Exorcist. If the Exorcist character level is at least twice the outsider's hit dice, she banishes the outsider back to its home plane. An Exorcist can use this ability a number of times per day, equal to 3 plus her charisma modifier. Weapon of the Exorcist. An Exorcist of the Silver Flame chooses a weapon which she dispenses the will of the church. The chosen weapon must be a weapon that the Exorcist of the Silver Flame is proficient with and must have been in her possession for the last 24 hours. While wielding this weapon, the Exorcist has a +1 sacred bonus on damage rolls, and she treats it as a magic weapon for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. An Exorcist of the Silver Flame may only have 1 weapon of the Exorcist at a time. Real quick, Seraphis, I need to step away for a second. Tell everybody why you think that the werewolves did nothing wrong.
Well, they didn't do anything wrong. Let's be fair. Okay, so no, see, I find it a little bit hypocritical because okay, folks, the Silver Flame is basically a religious organization that's built on a power spike that's been localized in one spot. That's all the souls of the Coatl that existed in Eberron. Basically, they committed a mass genocide to create a power source powerful enough to exorcise demons out of the world. Or actually, exorcise them out of the world and back down into Khyber, where they should be, because they're evil things. They should be locked away and never be allowed to come out. Now, that is what the duty and mandate of the Silver Flame is meant to be, to keep out the fiends and aberrations and monstrosities. Back then, the lycanthropes were helping them. They were considered beastkin, no different to orcs. They haven't started a crusade yet on the orcs and the goblinoids, so why'd they start one on the lycanthropes? Because some racist prick decided that they didn't like lycanthropes anymore. That's why the Silver Flame is a corrupt institute now.
As a devotee of the Silver Flame, folks, everything he just told you was wrong. I don't know. I'm just being a turd.
As a follower of the Traveler, at least my God is real.
At least you... And also, folks, when you're doing a live stream, prep your water beforehand. Just saying. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, see, this is why I've got drinks on both sides of me. So if I finish one, I've got another one to go to.
Oh, dude, I'd fully admit, straight up rookie mistake. So, I mean, I know I was a little busy ahead of time, but that is still just a basic rookie mistake.
Which, by the way, folks, just in case anyone's wondering, this is actually a... Hold on, where are we? This is actually a cola, not a, alcoholic beverage. This is a cola. See? Traditional cola.
I mean, come on. Are you really ready to start day drinking?
You have no idea what the last few days have been like.
Yeah, but then who's going to pick up the kids from daycare?
Oh, that's fine. I've got like 3 hours to sober up.
We are not drunk streaming, Seraphis.
Are you sure? There's enough giggles. Or should we go back to talk about sex again?
Okay, where was it? Did I do Weapon of the Exorcist?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Weapon of Silver.
Right. So this is where it starts getting interesting. Like when I was reading through this, folks, you're gonna see this as we go through. Like the things that just start getting stacked, and it's like, okay, I don't want to be involved in fighting this guy. So, all right, Weapon of Silver, starting at 2nd level, an Exorcist of the Silver Flame, wielding her chosen weapon, treats the weapon as silver, as well as magic for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. So, you already get 1 upgrade. If she does not already have it, an Exorcist of the Silver Flame gains dark vision out to 30 feet at 3rd level. The radius of the effect increases to 60 feet at 6th level. So human, and you get dark vision. And don't forget, in 3rd edition, there is a difference between dark vision and low light vision. So, that's pretty good. All right, resist possession. Beginning at 3rd level, an Exorcist of the Silver Flame receives a +4 sacred bonus on saving throws against possession, including magic jar spells, ghostly malevolence, and fiendish possession. She also receives a +2 sacred bonus on saving throws against all charm, compulsion spells, and effects cast by evil outsiders or undead.
Have you noticed that there's a lot of conditions specifically relating to possession in Eberron?
I mean, they made an entire race based on possession.
I know. It's nice, isn't it?
That's another weird one. So the quarry came in, said, "Hey, we'd like to occupy your body." And some humans okay. And then the quarry is just like, "Yeah, this is mine now."
No. To be fair. Oh, wait. Should I really go deep? No, I won't go too deep.
Just hit the surface.
Just hit the surface. Yeah, just the tip.
Quality entertainment, folks.
No. So, to be fair, the Corey that we know as the ones that are bound with the Kalashtar, they're actually outcasts that came to the material plane like centuries or thousands of years beforehand.
Sure.
So when they first came, it was like, oh, hey, that's fine. But then years later, like, centuries, millennia later, when the Dalcor invasion happened on Salona, that's when you had like this overpopulate, like this overpossession, basically, of people just being like, well, I guess now, like, the entire continent is possessed by dream spirits. Yay!
Right, but again, it's still one of those, like I said, they also, it's still weird because, again, you have these dream spirits that came in, and it wasn't just, like, it wasn't like the crap. Why can't I remember?
Kalashtar inspired.
No, Star Trek.
Betazoids.
No, Dax.
Oh,
Trill. Right. It's not like a Trill where it's like, oh, we got like this symbiotic, creature that is now living with us. Like,
no, those are called symbionts, and we've got those in another chapter.
Okay, we'll get to that. But my point is, going back to your thing about possession, again, yes, there's a lot about possession. We have these characters that literally possessed humans and then essentially said, okay, I'm in charge now. So what happened to the human soul? Because then the Kalashtar started breeding true. So when there's a baby Kalashtar, is there a human soul in there that's already being taken over by the quarry spirit and being like, haha, sucks to suck. This is me now.
No. The true blending means that the dream spirit and the human soul have merged together.
I didn't remember reading that, but this conversation made me think about it.
Oh, I think it's in Secrets of Salona or something like that. But yeah, it goes more in depth about how that has actually happened.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, well, just on first reading, it's still kind of weird. Anyhow,
you want to know what's even more weird?
This whole stream.
Well, if you go deeper, if we go beyond the tip, we find out that before the Dreaming Darkness happened, apparently things in Dalcor were a little bit different. Maybe, possibly, unless it's lying. But yeah, things may have been a little bit different, and it's weird, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Coming in a future episode, folks. All right.
In a much future episode at this rate.
All right. Smite Evil. Starting at 3rd level once per day, an Exorcist of the Silver Flame can attempt to smite evil with 1 normal melee attack. She adds her charisma bonus to her attack roll and deals 1 extra point of damage per Exorcist level. If an Exorcist accidentally smites a creature that is not evil, the smite has no effect, but the ability is still used up for that day. An Exorcist who is also a Paladin and or Cleric adds her daily uses of this ability from each class together and adds her Exorcist level to her Paladin level and or Cleric level to determine extra damage. For example, a 5th level Cleric, 10th level Paladin, 3rd level Exorcist of the Silver Flame can smite evil 4 times per day and deals an extra 18 points of damage on a successful smite. At 7th level and higher, an Exorcist can smite evil 1 additional time per day. Detect thoughts. Beginning at 4th level, an exorcist of the Silver Flame will appear on the Whatever podcast. I mean, can use detect thoughts at will as the spell. The save DC is 10 plus the exorcist class level plus the exorcist charisma modifier. That was a horrible joke, and I apologize to everyone because that was dumb.
Also, for exorcists and being righteous and whatnot, detect thoughts, really? So now you're psionically using a base level psionic ability to read the thoughts of the people around you. That's kind of
because
naughty.
then you can truly know how evil the werewolves are. Because you can read their minds and know, yup, they're evil.
So are you still reading their mind as they're screaming for help and all they can do is
just proving their guilt?
You're a bad person.
I know. All right. Weapon of Good, starting at 4th level, an exorcist of the Silver Flame wielding her chosen weapon. I regret nothing, folks. Treats the weapon as good aligned, silver, and magic for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. Silver Exorcism. At 5th level and higher, an exorcist of the Silver Flame gains a +2 bonus on charisma checks to force possessing spirits out of the bodies they inhabit. Hey, Corey. Peace out. As well as on all dispel checks and caster level checks to harm, banish, or overcome the spell resistance of evil outsiders. This includes dispel checks to dispel a summoned monster spell when the summoned monster is an evil outsider. However, the bodies they inhabit take 1d6 points of sacred damage. Weapon of the Silver or Weapon of Flame. Starting at 6th level, an exorcist of the Silver Flame wielding her chosen weapon deals an extra 1d6 points of fire damage on a successful hit. Weapon of Law. Starting at 8th level, an exorcist of the Silver Flame wielding her chosen weapon treats the weapon as lawful aligned, good aligned, silver, and magic for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. Weapon of Sacred Flame. Starting at 9th level, an exorcist of the Silver Flame wielding her chosen weapon deals an extra 1d6 points of sacred damage on a successful hit. Warding Flame. At 10th level, an exorcist of the Silver Flame can bathe herself in Silver Flame as a free action. As long as the Warding Flame covers her, she gains a +2 sacred bonus to armor class and saving throws. In addition, she gains spell resistance 25 against evil spells and spells cast by evil creatures. Any evil creature that makes a successful melee attack against an exorcist of the Silver Flame while she is bathed in her Warding Flame must make a fortitude save or be blinded. The Warding Flame also provides bright illumination up to 30 feet from the exorcist and shadowy illumination up to 60 feet. It can be dismissed at any time. So, I didn't add everything up, but it seems like leveling up gets you an extra 3d6 of damage plus fire. No?
Okay, so by the end there, so good lawful aligned, so that's an extra 2d4 damage. Good aligned, 2d4 damage. Silver, 1d4 damage, and magic, so bypass resistance. So
hold on a second. I thought the lawful aligned, good aligned, silver, and magic, that's for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. That doesn't give you extra damage.
Yeah, but her chosen weapon is treated as those weapon types. So you're looking at holy damage, you're looking at the lawful one. Basically, if you're up against a evil outsider, yeah, you're looking at rolling.
Well, my point was just
10 d6s at least.
Sure. My point was just, okay, so you've got Weapon of the Silver Flame that gives a d6, or Weapon of the Sacred Flame. Weapon of Flame gives you a d6 fire damage. And then like 2 others. Anyways, it seems like by the time you're fully maxed out on the Exorcist levels, just base, you're getting like an extra 3d6 damage. Plus, here's all of these other things that get past damage reduction. So, regardless, the Exorcist is a bit of a wrecking ball.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be a hypocrite, of course.
If you want to be a hypocrite. No, it's if you hate werewolves.
Hey, Sybaris created the werewolves, created the lycanthropes.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
If Sybaris didn't, then the lycanthropes wouldn't have been able to escape to the plane of beasts.
Okay, you know what? Quit trying to bring the dragons into this. They're evil.
No, they're not. They're explicitly not.
No, the werewolves are evil. I didn't mean Sybaris was evil. Anyway, come on, let's move on. We gotta get through
this. Extreme Explorer. The ancient depths of Shan, the tangled jungles of Kabara, the howling crags of the Demon Waste, and the cyclopean ruins of Zendrik are like home to an extreme explorer, whether motivated by a thirst for knowledge about Eberron's most ancient civilizations, a hunger for the long-lost secrets of tremendous arcane power, or simply a lust for gold. Extreme explorers subject themselves to tremendous danger to achieve their goals, and somehow manage to escape in one piece, often by the skin of their teeth. The Extreme Explorer is the iconic action hero of Eberron. Courageous, resourceful, determined, and just plain lucky. The key feature of the Extreme Explorer is his use of action points. He gains more action points than most other characters and gains action-oriented bonus feats to help him spend those points in dramatically heroic ways. Members of any class can qualify to become Extreme Explorers without much difficulty, though rogues have a particular inclination toward this prestige class. So do artificers. NPC Extreme Explorers are quite rare. They work best in the campaign as plot devices. They can fail to return from an expedition deep beneath Shan. Send their notebooks to a PC pupil before disappearing forever in Zendrik, or hire the PCs to accompany them into the Demon Wastes. Requirements. To qualify to become an Extreme Explorer, a character must fulfill all of the following criteria. Base attack bonus +4. Skills, knowledge, dungeoneering, 4 ranks. Survival, 4 ranks. Feat, action boost. Then we've got the class skills. There's a significant number of them. However, as I said, one key one, use magic device. Hence why Artificer is also a secondary choice for a Extreme Explorer. And then we've got Extreme Explorer table. Class features. All of the following class features of the Extreme Explorer. All of the following are class features of the Extreme Explorer. Weapon and armor proficiencies. Extreme Explorers gain no proficiency with any weapons, armor, or shields. Additional action points. And Extreme Explorer's maximum action points per level increases by 2. Which, that's not bad.
Nope. Not in an Eberron campaign.
Yeah. However, if you're playing in the 3.5 game and you're not in Eberron and your DM says that they don't use action points and you kind of wanted to have this because some of the other things in it were kind of cool and they really would have made some really cool additions to your character, but the whole action point thing wasn't gonna freaking anyway. Trap sense. An Extreme Explorer has an intuitive sense that alerts him to danger from traps, providing a +1 bonus on reflex saves made to avoid traps and a +1 dodge bonus to armor class against attacks made by traps. These bonuses increase by 1 every 2 Extreme Explorer levels thereafter, to +2 at 3rd level and +3 at 5th level. Trap sense bonuses gained from multiple classes stack, which is one of the few instances of 3.5 things stacking.
Makes sense.
Yep. Dodge bonus. At 2nd level, an Extreme Explorer's initiative sense expands to combat. When not encumbered and wearing light armor when wearing light armor or unarmored, he gains a +1 dodge bonus to his armor class. At 4th level, his bonus increases to +2. An Extreme Explorer loses this bonus when he is immobilized or helpless, when he wears any armor other than light armor, when he carries a shield, or when he carries a medium or heavy load. Don't you hate it when you're carrying a heavy load?
I do.
Yeah. Evasion. An Extreme Explorer of 2nd level or higher can avoid even magical and unusual attacks with great agility. If he makes a successful reflex saving throw against an attack that normally deals half damage on a successful save, he instead takes no damage. Evasion can be used only if an Extreme Explorer is wearing light or no armor. A helpless Extreme Explorer does not gain the benefit of evasion.
Obviously.
Yeah. Extreme Hustle. As a free action once per round, an Extreme Explorer can spend 1 action point to gain a move action. Bonus feat. At 3rd level and at 5th level, an Extreme Explorer gains a bonus feat. These bonus feats must be selected from their following list, and the Extreme Explorer must meet the prerequisites of a feat to select it. Action Surge, Heroic Surge, Pursue, and Spontaneous Casting. Extreme Action. Anytime an Extreme Explorer spends 1 action point to improve the results of a d20 roll, he has a chance to retain the action point. If the result of the modified d20 roll was a success, and if the result of the action point die roll was 8, the Extreme Explorer retains the action point.
Okay, I like this. I don't know why, but I just like the idea of this. You know, obviously you have to be in a game where you're using action points, but this alone is gives a good reason to just take the especially take, because it's Action Surge that lets you roll the 8s, right? Yeah, so take Action Surge. And I also like that it's the D20 roll just has to be a success. You don't have to get a crit or anything to do it. So just get a success and roll an 8, and bam, you get an extra action point. And I think that's
your action point gets restored.
Well,
so you don't use it up.
It's restored, but it's kind of an extra action point. Regardless, I like it. That's my point. Yeah. You gotta keep going. Oh wait, oh no, that's sorry. I'm like changeling traits.
Yeah, this is all for Rouse, the example character.
I just I missed that. Sorry, folks. All right. Cool. I got to do both the Dragon Mark ones. I didn't plan it that way.
Sure you didn't, buddy. Sure you didn't.
All right. Heir of Sybaris. So, if you remember from last week, there are essentially 4 different levels of Dragon Marks: least, lesser, greater, and Sybaris. This is, if you want a Mark of Sybaris, this is literally the only way you're going to get it, is by taking this prestige class. So, The people of Corvair have a limited understanding of dragon marks, and Sybaris marks are a complete mystery. The magic of a Sybaris mark is undeniably powerful, generally duplicating a spell of 7th or 8th level. Sybaris marks are clearly related, visually, thematically, and genetically, to the other marks in their house. A dragon mark heir may spend years perfecting and mastering the powers of his mark, but can never manifest a Sybaris mark, while an unmarked scion of a dragon mark house might suddenly display a Sybaris mark against all expectations. Sybaris marks are mighty, unpredictable, and rare, and the dragon-marked houses keep a careful eye on anyone who manifests one. If its power can be used in the service of the house, fine, but an heir of Sybaris who does not conceal his dragon mark ability or remain firmly aligned with his house is likely to find himself the target of assassins. Characters of every class manifest marks of Sybaris, though not before reaching high level. To qualify to become an heir of Sybaris, a character must fulfill all of the following criteria. Dragon-marked race, 15 ranks in any 2 skills,
which technically means that the minimum level is 12.
Wouldn't it be 11?
No. Because you can have up to 3. When with your ranks, you can have up to 3 levels above your current level.
Oh, right. Because at level 1,
level for a Sybaris heir, an heir of Sybaris, is level 12.
Right. Okay. Yeah. My brain was just that makes sense because my brain was defaulting that you can have a class skill at rank 4 at first level. Yeah. So okay. So yes. So rank. So level 12 to become an mark of or an heir of Sybaris.
Yep.
All right, feats, heroic spirit, which was one described a couple of weeks ago. Special, a character who has the aberrant dragon mark, least dragon mark, lesser dragon mark, or greater dragon mark feat cannot enter this prestige class. Also, once a character gains any levels in this class, he can't adopt the dragon mark heir prestige class because you can't have any of the other marks. Any class, basically their class skills match whatever your previous classes are. So it is here's another thing. It is a 3-level class. So
prestige class.
Right. 3-level prestige class. So it is, you are not going to spend a lot of time gaining levels in the heir of Sybaris. All right. Class features.
Good too, so.
Right. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do anyways. All right. So all the following are class features of the heir of Sybaris. Gain no proficiency with any weapons, armor, or shields. At first level, an heir of Sybaris' dragon mark begins to form, and his maximum action points per level increases by 2. Ooh, imagine if you were heir of Sybaris and an extreme explorer.
Yes, I know.
That is a lot of action points
for days.
Right? Bonus feat. An heir of Sybaris gains a bonus feat. The bonus feat must be selected from the following list, and the heir of Sybaris must meet the prerequisites of the feat to select it. Action boost, action surge, favorite in house, pursue, and spontaneous casting. All right. Sybaris mark. At second level, an heir of Sybaris manifests the full Sybaris mark of his house, gaining a spell-like ability from the following list. If the mark associated with the character's house offers 2 spell-like abilities, he select 1. Mark of detection gives moment of prescience once per day. Mark of finding, discern location once per day. Mark of handling, awaken once per day, or summon nature's ally 6 once per day. Mark of healing, mass heal once per day. Mark of hospitality, refuge once per day. Mark of making, true creation. Mark of passage, greater teleport. Mark of scribing, symbol of death. Mark of sentinel, mind blank. Mark of Shadow, greater prying eyes or greater scrying. Mark of Storm, Storm of Vengeance. Mark of Warding, Prismatic Wall. The saving throw against a Sybaris Dragon Mark power has a DC of 10 plus the level of the spell plus the heir's charisma modifier. The caster level for any Sybaris Dragon Mark power is 15th. Spells per day. At 2nd and 3rd level, an heir of Sybaris who previously had levels in a spellcasting class gains new spells per day as if he had also gained a level in that class. Does not, however, gain any other benefit that character class would normally gain. This essentially means... we've already read this before. If the character has no spellcasting classes, he gains a bonus feat of his choice instead. He must meet the prerequisites of a feat to select it. At 3rd level, an heir of Sybaris gains improved mastery of his Sybaris mark. That did not work. Sybaris mark ability. He can use the Sybaris Dragon Mark spell-like ability he already possesses 1 additional time per day. So, oh my god, I am...
Although, while we're here, and I'll let you get back to wherever you need to be.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that while we've got Rurik up as the example there, so if you've been seeing any of the dragon marked heirs, especially the scions or the leaders of the house, you will notice that with their name, it'll frequently have like a D in front of the house name. That's frequently based on essentially the rank and the honorific within the house. So essentially being called Rurik de Kundarak is essentially like being called Prince Rurik of House Kundarak. There's another one as well that I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it's basically like being called King Kundarak, basically. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Master Inquisitive.
Oh, this should be fun. Okay. So, Master Inquisitive. The Master Inquisitive takes the art of investigation and deduction to the ultimate level, rising to the top of the field. A Master Inquisitive could be an elite freelance investigator, a Master Detective working for a recognized law enforcement organization somewhere in Corvair. He might be an investigative chronicler digging up details on corruption and conspiracies. Whatever his occupation, the Master Inquisitive specializes in solving mysteries and shredding...
Thanks, Grim.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. There you are, being like, oh, I'll make sure that Kim isn't pots and panning behind me, and then Grim just like, allow me to fill that gap for you.
Worth it.
Where was I? Whatever his occupation, the Master Inquisitive specializes in solving mysteries and shedding light on the darkest secrets. Many dabblers in the field call themselves Inquisitives, but only a select few attain the status of Master. The Master Inquisitive is the quintessential investigator with a reputation for tenacity and success that is well deserved. The best in the field often come up. Just leave it there. What are you doing? I'm sorry, folks.
And we were worried about the kids.
The kids have nothing on Grim. The best in the Master Inquisitives Inquisitive is the quintessential investigator with a reputation for tenacity and success that is well deserved. The best in the field often come up through the ranks of rogue or bard, but members of every class with an insatiable curiosity and a need to solve mysteries can attain the title of Master Inquisitive. The Master Inquisitive's intuition and insight become so finely tuned as to appear supernatural, and indeed, he manifests a few spell like abilities to help him in his search for truth and the solutions to the mysteries he confronts on a regular basis. Hit die is D8, which is not bad.
No, I would say most of these are. Well, actually, a lot of these seem D8, but yeah, that's still pretty good.
I was thinking more comparing them to like the prestige classes generally given in the Dungeon Master's Guide. A lot of them tend to generally be around D6, with some of the better ones being D8, and like one more combat oriented one being D10, which still puts them behind the actual fighter levels. So
but I agree. I think most of these have been like D8.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna scroll back through everything to see, but it's what I remember. So
requirements to qualify to become a Master Inquisitive, a character must fulfill all the following criteria: skills, gather information 6 ranks, search 3 ranks, and sense motive 6 ranks, and requires the feat investigate. I am just now we have our class skills. Although the skill points 6+ intelligence modifier isn't bad. That was better than the last couple we've seen. Master Inquisitive is 5 levels, so that's not bad either. That's been about on average for what I think we've been seeing too.
Something along those lines. Yeah, well, no, the levels for all the classes are kind of all over the board. Because some of them go up to 10, some are just 5. The Heir of Sybaris was just 3. So so yeah, it's definitely like they've given a good mix. But yeah.
All right. Class features. All of the following are class features of the Master Inquisitive. Weapon and armor proficiencies. The Master Inquisitive gains no proficiencies, so we don't need to worry about that. Zone of Truth. A Master Inquisitive can use Zone of Truth once per day as a spell-like ability, duplicating the effect of the Zone of Truth spell. The character can spend 2 action points to gain 1 additional use of this ability. Again, this is one of those things that would pair well with, the Extreme Explorer and things like that. Bonus feat. At 2nd and 4th level, a Master Inquisitive gains a bonus feat. The bonus feat must be selected from the following list, and the Master Inquisitive must meet the prerequisites of the feat to select it. Alertness, Deceitful, Heroic Spirit, Improved Initiative, Iron Will, Negotiator, Persuasive, Recognized Imposter, Research, Toughness, Track, and Urban Tracking. Oh, you love research, don't you?
Research, investigate, all these feats that should be skills.
I know, right? Or like skill updates, just
right. No, they should just be skills with like a skill prerequisite. Well, you can take investigation, but you have to take 3 ranks of knowledge or something. Whatever. It's been 20 years. I can't change it now.
Personally, I think the feat is just fine.
You also like werewolves, so we know your opinion's wrong.
Okay, contact. A Master Inquisitive of 2nd level or higher cultivates associates and informants. Each time the character gains a contact, the DM should develop an NPC to represent the contact. The contact must be a member of an NPC class: adept, aristocrat, commoner, expert, mage right, or warrior. Contacts might be informants, criminals, chroniclers, shopkeepers, coach drivers, household servants, clerks, or others who can provide limited aid and information pertaining to a Master Inquisitive's endeavors. A contact does not accompany a Master Inquisitive on missions or risk his or her life in any overt manner. A contact can, however, provide information, develop leads, or render a service. Make a specific skill check on behalf of the Inquisitive. At second level, a Master Inquisitive gains a third level contact. At fourth level, a Master Inquisitive gains a sixth level contact. The character can't call upon the same contact more than once per week. When he calls on a contact, compensation is required for the services rendered. Professional contacts such as adepts, aristocrats, and mage rights require favors in return. Criminals or working class contacts, including commoners, experts, and warriors, usually demand money for their services they provide. Prices for contact services are based on the contact's class and level, as shown on the following table. Unlike with hirelings, a Master Inquisitive personally knows and has a long-standing relationship with his contacts. Did you want me to go through the contacts, or?
Folks, here's a list of contacts and how much it costs to use them. Done.
The Mage Right and the Adept are a little too expensive, in my opinion. 1 gold per level and a favor in return.
No, or. Not and, or.
Ah, okay. Oh, that's slightly better, but still.
Right, but that is actually kind of cool. You know, you don't have any gold on you, but you can do a favor, or I mean, come on, it's the traditional RPG MacGuffin. Hey, I need this thing. Go find me 3 root berries.
That's not a MacGuffin. That's a fetch quest.
But again, I mean, whatever. It's built in. Fetch quest is built in.
Okay, Discern Lies. Starting at 3rd level, a Master Inquisitive can use Discern Lies once per day as a spell-like ability, duplicating the effect of the Discern Lies spell. The character can spend 2 action points to gain 1 additional use of this ability. Again, lots of really cool uses for spending action points.
Yeah.
True Seeing. At 5th level, a Master Inquisitive can use True Seeing once per day as a spell-like ability, duplicating the effect of the True Seeing spell. The character can spend 2 action points to gain 1 additional use of the ability. Yep.
Yes. I agree.
That dried my throat out.
All right. We are almost done, folks. 2 to go. All right.
Now we get up to the fun one.
Warforged Juggernaut. Some believe that the ultimate expression of the Warforged experiment is the Juggernaut, a path that allows Warforged to become more and more like true constructs and less like their living creators. As a machine of war, the Juggernaut is among the best at dealing damage and sustaining punishment. Some Warforged refuse to take up the mantle of Juggernaut because it accentuates their construct heritage at the cost of their living aspects. Nonetheless, for a Warforged who wants to become an engine of destruction, the Juggernaut prestige class is the best road by which to get there. A number of Warforged Juggernauts make their homes in the Mournland. Many of these characters follow the powerful Juggernaut known as the Lord of Blades, with a hit die of D12.
Yes. A Juggernaut known as the Lord of Blades, who's definitely not someone in a suit of armor. Or potentially several people who all look the same.
Okay, so I'm assuming that that's like a theory that's out there, but I don't think it would be a person in a suit of armor, because the Lord of Blades is in the Mournlands. And
what if he's an artificer? Or what if he's just taken the Renegade Mastermaker feat? Prestige class.
Long-term exposure to the morning. That's not good.
The Lord of Blades is trying to assemble an army of Warforged who he's going to conquer the rest of Corvair with. I think whoever it is, they're already a little lost in the head.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. To qualify to become a Warforged Juggernaut, a character must fulfill all the following criteria: race, Warforged, base attack bonus +5, feats, adamantine body, improved bull rush, and power attack. So this, I think, is kind of interesting because you have to know you're going to do this from the word jump, because otherwise you're not taking that adamantine body and you can't add it in later. So I think that's an interesting twist on this one.
Yep.
All right. Class features. All of the following are class features of the Warforged Juggernaut. The Juggernauts gain no proficiency with any weapons, armor, or shields. Armor spikes. At first level, a Warforged Juggernaut grows armor spikes and gains proficiency in their use as a weapon. These adamantine armor spikes deal 1d6 points of piercing damage on a successful grapple attack. While the spikes can't be removed, they can be affected by spells like any other weapon. At 4th level, the damage these armor spikes deal increases to 1d8. Expert Bull Rush. A Warforged Juggernaut can add its class level to strength checks when making a Bull Rush attempt or defending against a Bull Rush. A Warforged Juggernaut can had to scroll up. Warforged Juggernaut can also add its class level to strength checks when trying to break down doors. Powerful Charge. Warforged Juggernaut gains Powerful Charge as a bonus feat. Reserved. Starting at first level, a Warforged Juggernaut begins to distance itself from living creatures. Because of this change in its nature, a Warforged Juggernaut takes a penalty equal to its Juggernaut class level. -1 at first level, -2 at second, and so on. When using the following skills: bluff, diplomacy, gather information, and sense motive.
Just quickly, if you want to go to the left, we can see an example of the improved Bull Rush and Powerful Charge in action.
Yes, and the spikes.
Yes. That used to be a door.
It is now a Warforged. Charge bonus. Starting at second level, a Warforged Juggernaut gains an extra +1 bonus on its attack roll when making a charge. At 4th level, this extra bonus increases to +2. Construct Perfection. A Warforged that follows the path of the Juggernaut seeks to improve itself by embracing its construct heritage. As a Warforged Juggernaut advances, it abandons what it considers the weaknesses of the living construct form and to gain qualities more indicative of true constructs. While retaining its intelligence and sentience, a Warforged Juggernaut gains the following construct features as it advances in level. Construct Perfection 1. At second level, a Warforged Juggernaut is no longer subject to non-lethal damage or extra damage from critical hits. That's mean. Let's see. Construct Perfection 2. At third level, a Warforged Juggernaut gains immunity to all mind-affecting spells and abilities. Construct Perfection 3. A Warforged Juggernaut gains immunity to death effects and necromancy effects. Construct Perfection 4. A Warforged Juggernaut is no longer subject to ability damage or ability drain. So this is interesting because it's like, so are you going to have to sacrifice your quote unquote humanity? Yes, I know he's not a human, but it's the word I have for non-robot personality.
Well, see, it's kind of interesting because this route basically takes you down the road of basically being more like a permanent construct, right?
Right.
Stripping away, as you said, the humanity and replacing it with the cold steel, basically. What? Shut up.
Are you being equated to a Warforged?
No, she's whispering RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Anyway, but it's kind of funny because Magic of Eberron, Secrets of Zendrick, there are Warforged components that can duplicate these effects without stripping the, as you said, the humanity away from them, though.
That's fair. But let's look at it from just the perspective of those books don't exist.
Yep.
Because remember, like when the book comes out, they don't have those other plans yet. Maybe they're working on those books, but it's still going to be a couple of years before those get released. So if I was playing Eberron just using the campaign setting, again, I would be kind of enforcing the player, okay, you need to start pushing for less empathy, less, like interpersonal actions, things like that, because you are turning yourself into a robot.
Yeah.
So which again could be really, really interesting role playing. What do you do when a Warforged has gone down the Juggernaut route and then regrets it? That could just be some interesting storytelling right there too.
Soundwave superior, Constructicons inferior.
Something like that, yeah.
The cold, hard steel of Soundwave.
All right, extended charge. Starting at second level, a Warforged Juggernaut gains 5 feet to its speed when making a charge. Healing immunity. This is interesting. Starting at third level, as a Warforged Juggernaut becomes more like a construct and less like a living creature, it becomes immune to the effects of spells from the healing subschool. In addition, it can no longer benefit from the effects of consumable spells and magic items such as Hero's Feast and potions. Starting at third level, when a Warforged Juggernaut makes a successful bull rush against an opponent, it can choose to deal damage equal to that of its armor spikes plus its strength modifier against the opponent in addition to the normal results of a bull rush. If the bull rush was made as part of a charge, the Juggernaut can add its extra damage from the powerful charge feat or the greater powerful charge feat as well. Speaking of greater powerful charge, Warforged Juggernaut gains greater powerful charge as a bonus feat. So all right, so that's all the abilities. Overall, I think the Juggernaut could be some interesting play, but I think personally I would see it more as an NPC.
Yeah, I can definitely say that. Especially when there's, ironically, several examples of a Warforged Juggernaut as NPCs in other material. Like the King of Beland, I think it is, has a Warforged Juggernaut named 3 as his personal bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah. And he is just like, his AC is ridiculous. Like, I'm not quite sure how anyone could ever get close to the king to assassinate him with this dude just being there 24/7. Like, because he's a Warforged, he doesn't need to sleep. He can just be by the king's side 24/7.
I thought Warforged did need to rest though.
Only to repair damage.
But they don't suffer any penalties for not resting?
Nope. Part of their construct quirk.
That's fair. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those where, like I said, with the reduction in humanity, things like that, that's where I would be. That's why I would be pushing him more towards the the NPC route, or pushing a player to, okay, you've got to start playing this up where you just stop caring. Because again, I think that would completely change the group dynamic by going this route. So anyway.
All right, Where Touched Master. Where Touched Master masters are shifters who learn to enhance their shifting ability to accentuate the power of their lycanthropy heritage. They quickly learn not just to alter their humanoid form, but to actually take on animal forms as their ancestors did. Over time, they grow to master both animal and hybrid forms of all the once common lycanthropes. Along with their growing mastery of their physical form, where touched masters become increasingly wild in spirit, less comfortable in human society. Most where touched masters begin their careers as rangers or barbarians and seek to enhance their combat ability through mastery of animal forms. Few are druids because druids learn to assume more animal forms more quickly than were-touched masters, and have little to gain from this class. The Eldeen Reaches are home to the greatest number of the NPC were-touched masters. The more advanced masters enjoy a rugged wilderness and stay far from human civilization. And hit D8. Requirements. To qualify to become a were-touched master, a character must fulfill all of the following criteria. Race, shifter, obviously. Base attack bonus, +4. Skills, knowledge, nature, 4 ranks, and survival, 8 ranks.
5 ranks in nature.
Oh, sorry, 5 ranks. Feat, any shifter feat. Okay. Then we have class skills, and we have 5 levels of Were Touched. Okay. Class features. All of the following class features of the Were Touched Master. Weapon and armor proficiency. Were Touched Masters gain no proficiencies, so it doesn't matter. Were Touched 1. Supernatural. At first level, a Were Touched Master chooses one animal type that represents his lycanthrope heritage. Bear, boar, rat, tiger, wolf, or wolverine. When shifting, his appearance changes.
Real quick, because we were making all the jokes when we went through, I think it was the feats or it was the races. There's no goat.
Nope.
I think the cliff walker, strider or whatever, or shifter or whatever it is, I think it's actually based on the rat.
Probably.
No.
See what I have to put up with?
We're not playing Animorphs.
At first level, yep. When shifting, his appearance changes to strongly resemble a hybrid lycanthrope of the chosen type. His facial features become more bestial, fur sprouts on his body, and he grows a short tail. In addition, he gains one of the following extra benefits each time he shifts, depending on his lycanthrope ancestor. I keep wanting to say lycanthropy.
Right.
Bear or tiger. While shifting, the Were Touched Master gains a +2 bonus to strength and manifest claws that can be used as natural weapons. These claws deal 1d4 points of damage plus an additional +1 for every 4 character levels he has on a successful attack. If he already has the Razor Claw Shifter trait or the improved natural attack feat, his claw damage increases by 1 die size.
Nice.
Boar or Wolverine. While shifting, the Were Touched Master gains a +2 bonus to Constitution and manifests tusks for boars or fangs for wolverines. That can be used as natural weapon, dealing 1d6 points of damage plus an additional +1 for every 4 character levels he has on a successful gore or bite attack. If he already has the Longtooth Shifter trait or the improved natural attack feat, his bite or gore damage increases by 1 die size. And rat or wolf. While shifting, a Were-Touch Master gains a +2 bonus to dexterity and manifests fangs that can be used as a natural weapon, dealing 1d6 points of damage, plus an additional +1 for every 4 character levels he has, with a successful bite attack. If he already has the yep, we know that one. Wild Empathy. Like a druid or ranger, a Were-Touch Master gains the ability to use body language, vocalizations, and demeanor to improve the attitude of an animal. This ability functions like a diplomacy check made to improve the attitude of a person. The Were-Touch Master rolls a d20 and adds his Were-Touch Master level and his charisma modifier to determine the Wild Empathy check result. If he has Druid or Ranger levels, he adds his Were-Touch Master level to those levels to determine his total modifier. If the animal is of the same kind as the Were-Touch Master's lycanthrope ancestor, he gains a +4 bonus on his check. To use Wild Empathy, the Were-Touch Master and the animal must be able to study each other, which means that they must be within 30 feet of each other under normal conditions. Generally, influencing an animal in this way takes 1 minute. As with influencing people, it might take more or less time. A Were-Touched Master can also use this ability to influence a magical beast with an intelligence score of 1 or 2, but he takes a -4 penalty on the check. Bonus Shifter feat. At 2nd level and again at 4th level, a Were-Touched Master gains a bonus Shifter feat. Yeah, all are the new feats described in Chapter 3. These bonus feats must be selected from the following list, and Were-Touched Master must meet the prerequisites of a feat to select it. So we've got Beast Hide Elite, Cliff Walk Elite, Extra Shift Trait, Great Bite, Great Rend, Greater Shifted Defense, Healing Factor, Long Stride Elite, Shifted Defense, Shifter Ferocity, and Shifter Multi-Attack. Oh my god. Give me a sec. Need to wet the whistle. Okay. Were-Touch 2. I feel like I'm getting the longer ones here. Were-Touch 2. Another supernatural. At 3rd level, a Were-Touched Master gains the Scent ability. In addition, he manifests a special benefit derived from his lycanthrope ancestor when he is shifting. Bear, improved grab. To use this ability, the Were-Touched Master must hit with a claw attack. He can then attempt to start a grapple as a free action without provoking an attack of opportunity. Boar, Fierce Will. The Were-Touched Master gains a +4 bonus on will saves. Rat, Climb Speed. So yeah, the rat probably was the climber then. The Were-Touched Master manifests a climb speed of 20 feet. In addition, he can use his dexterity modifier instead of his strength modifier for climb checks. If he already has the Cliff Walk Shifter trait, his climb speed increases by 10 feet. Tiger, Pounce. If the Were-Touched Master charges a foe, he can make a full attack. I hate you both. Tiger. Wolf, Trip. If the Were-Touched Master hits with a bite attack, he can attempt to trip the opponent as a free action without making a touch attack or provoking an attack of opportunity. If the attempt fails, the opponent cannot react to trip the Were-Touched Master. Wolverine, Rage. If the Were-Touched Master takes damage, he flies into a Berserker Rage on his next turn, biting madly until either he or his opponent is dead, or until his shifting ends. He gains a +2 to strength, +2 to Constitution, and a -2 to Armor class while raging. He cannot end his rage voluntarily, but unlike a barbarian, he is not winded after his rage ends. So, I've got to say, the Wolverine thing is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like what I think is interesting is like they actually, I think, made some interesting little abilities that very much come across like something you would expect from those animals. So I actually really like this one.
Yeah. Where are we? Frightening Shifter.
Hold on. Frightful Shifting. Again, I only correct you if I think it's necessary.
Frightful Shifting. Fighting Shitter.
Yeah.
At 4th level, a Word Touch Master gains an unsettling presence when he uses his shifting ability or his alternate form ability. When he attacks or charges, opponents within 30 feet who witness his attack may become shaken for 5d6 rounds. Which, damn, that's a lot of rounds.
Yeah. That actually, I think that's a little too many, but regardless, I like, I'll be honest, I realize there's more to talk about how it works, but I like the idea of this.
Yeah.
Like you see in the videos where it's like there's that monster or whatever, and or like the person that turns into a monster and they don't fully turn, but like for just a split second, you know, you see like the wolf fangs or something, and then they're on you. And I really like the fact that they built that ability out.
Yep. This ability affects only opponents with fewer hit dice or levels than the Were Touch Master's character level. An opponent who can resist the effect with a successful will save, DC 10 plus Were Touch Master's class level plus his charisma modifier. An opponent who succeeds on the saving throw is immune to that Were Touch Master's Frightful Shifting for 24 hours. Frightful Shifting is a mind-affecting fear effect. For the purposes of things that grant immunity specifically to things like that.
Right.
Alternate form. At 5th level, a Were Touch Master can assume the animal form or hybrid form related to his lycanthrope heritage, same animal selected at 1st level. Instead of using his normal shifting ability, he can shift into animal form as though using the polymorph spell on himself, though his gear is not affected. He does not regain hit points for changing form, and only the specific animal form indicated on the lycanthrope heritage can be assumed. The Were Touch Master does not assume the ability scores of the animal, but instead adds the animal's ability adjustments, the following table, to his own ability scores. A Were Touch Master can also assume a bipedal hybrid form, with prehensile hands and animalistic features. In hybrid form, he can use weapons and armor. A slain Were Touch Master reverts to his humanoid form, although he remains dead. Separated body parts retain their animal form, however. And now we've got the table of ability adjustments between animal and hybrid. And I won't go through all that because you can just see it there. Which, that's fair. Let's be fair. Be cool, dude.
And I think that's it.
That is the end of the chapter.
Okay. That was a lot.
Yes, it was.
No, this is if you take the hippopotamus ancestry. You know, Grim. I just saw a video once where like the hippo was just kind of shaking its tail, and let's just say it was launching the poop everywhere. So, anyways, wow. No, overall, I mean, I like these. I think for the first book for Eberron, I think all of these give a nice little bit of flavor for the world. Good places to guide your character where you want to go. And just I think they just played in really well to the strengths of the setting itself. Any other final thoughts?
Werewolf Straw, suck it, Silver Flame.
Jonathan brings up a good point. Seriously, though, Stag Ancestry, Turtle Ancestry, so many missing options for DMs to play with.
Races of Eberron.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you'll see a lot more of that, in future books. I know we're taking a while to get through this, and we're trying to go through, relatively quickly.
Are we?
Yeah. Shut it, Sean.
Come on, mate. I thought you were cool.
Right?
You used to be cool, man.
So yeah, no, I believe that they've done stuff like that. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's remember, this is nerds. We don't need the missing one since players only ever take Tiger anyways. No, exactly. But I think I like at least having the options. I know there's the problem of people always taking what is optimal, but I like there are some abilities and stuff that, again, I think are just dumb. Investigate or research. Those are feats that should be skills. They didn't hit this thing 100%, but I like them at least providing options, even if it's not what everyone takes, because it's not the optimal thing to do. But anyways, that's my opinion. So, all right, folks. Now what you're all here for. So if you are not a member of the channel, which again, it's the tip jar. It's $2, and you get all of my wonderful content. I mean, everybody gets all of my wonderful content anyways. That's why it's called the tip jar, because I have very, very little members only content. But if you are a member, we are going to be giving away this week. We've got the orc. I'm not showing my desk because it is an absolute mess right now. But this Eberron orc fighter barbarian guy. So if you are not a member of the channel, put I'm just because I'm gonna make sure people are paying attention. Put a 7 in chat, and you can be entered to win. And we'll do that. So while we are waiting for people to put something into chat, I will remind everyone that that next week and the week after, we are going to be doing the premiere versions of the episode. So Seraphis and I will not be live. We will try to be
in chat.
I was gonna say we will try to be in chat, so that we can actually participate and interact. But again, it will kind of depend. Like for me, I know it'll all depend on where I am and who I'm with and what I'm doing. So I might not be able to be there, but that does also mean that next week and the week after, we are not going to be doing giveaways for miniatures. So keep that in mind. So 8 people here, and only Mage and Malachi wanted in. beyond that? All right. Well, hey, that's up to you folks. Let's see here. All right. So let's see who gets this. I'm going to laugh if it's Malachi again. I think I have to send him like 3 of them. No, it's from the hilt. Cool.
Logan again.
Which I don't mind. I want everyone to have a chance, but I do get excited when it's people out. Coco, I'm sorry I missed that. I will add you next time, bud. If you're here. See, get it. All right. So, any final thoughts, Seraphis? Anything else we should say?
Farting shitter.
Yes. Your heritage is Mudang. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. And yes, Malachi, of course it was rigged. That's how our circle runs all of these giveaways. So, okay. Oh, and also to anyone who has one, I will have them shipped out before I go on vacation. So it'll be out here soon. All right. With that said, I think we're good. Thank you everybody for watching. Before you go, please do hit the like button. Absolutely. It helps the channel. And if you know anyone who likes Eberron, share this with them. Hopefully they'll come and join us next time. So with that said, we will talk to you next time.